Even rural women are entitled to have flowers delivered down a dirt road to their doorstep, the same as somebody else in town.
I was recently presenting workshops at the New South Wales Rural Women's Gathering in Harden Murrumburrah. As part of the workshop, I invited attendees to take the microphone and be part of a mock podcast interview. Oak is all about amplifying women's voices and helping them gain the confidence to speak up and share their unique stories. Opportunities like these, where women can practice, get feedback and feel supported, are rare, and it's a privilege to create that space for them. This interview was too good not to publish. So in this special, very short episode, Sharlee Cassidy shares a little insight into launching Windalee Flower Farm in the scenic Yass Valley. Keep in mind, there was minimal prepping on both sides of the microphone, and unfortunately, we only had a small window of time. Meet my friend Sharlee from Windalee Flower Farm.
Hi, Sharlee, and welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Kimberley. Thank you for having me.
Now, you mentioned that you are a school teacher that has gone into floristry. That is, I believe, a blooming, beautiful story. Do you want to tell me a little bit about it in that, how did you start your flower business? What drew you to wanting to do something outside of teaching?
Okay, so I've been a teacher for a long time, taking breaks off with my children. I started off teaching in Burke. I've been as far away as Lord Howe Island, so I feel like I've done lots with teaching, but always felt there was something more that I could do. And I'm a daughter of farmers. They've done everything from cropping through to, lambs and cattle. I always loved having my hands in the dirt, but didn't want to farm animals. Love flowers, see the joy that somebody has when they're given a bouquet of flowers, and thought, I think I could have a go at that. This year, my husband said to me, have a crack. So I now have an ABN number, such a grown-up thing to do. And I've just grown from there.
Absolutely love it. How did you find the knowledge of how to build a flower farm and monetize it as such? Was there anywhere that you went for that information?
So I don't know if anybody has heard of Florette and Erin Benzakein, but a few years ago, I read one of her books, and then she offers a training course. She launched it online, so I didn't have to go to America, which was very handy during COVID. So my husband said, because it was like a lot of money for us, as a family, and he said, you may as well learn how to do it the right way first. So I did her online course, which covered everything from how to start seeds through to marketing, that kind of thing. And I grew from there. And it was only by chance that I was in Merchant Campbell's store. I don't know if people know that, in Yass, one day. And I was buying a little basket. And she said to me, oh, that'll be lovely at the beach. And I said to her, oh, I'm actually using it to style some flowers for photos. And she said, oh, why? And I said, oh, I'm starting a flower farm. And she said, I'll sell you flowers. It sort of started from there.
And that's how really you've got your first stockist then.
Oh, how exciting. Yeah. And she's been lovely, very encouraging, giving me lots of advice, business advice and things. So I can't thank Margot's her name, and she's fabulous.
Tell me about a wow moment in your business that you can remember just recently.
I actually did a girlfriend's wedding in Katoomba on the weekend. She loves ranunculus, and I grow ranunculus. And she just said, I'd love for you to do the flowers for my wedding. And I sort of said, yeah, okay, I'll give it a crack. But I did say to her, they can be finicky. Flowers are very fussy, and they can decide that they do or don't want to be growing the week that you're having your wedding. But we managed to get it done. But when she said she was getting married, she didn't actually mention straight away that it was going to be at Katoomba. And I live near Yass. So we had a convoy of cars to cart the flowers all the way to Katoomba. And of course, when we pulled up, it's raining. So you're unloading flowers in the rain. Yeah, it was a fabulous experience. It was stressful. It was exhausting. People told me at the wedding that I looked terrible. Oh my gosh, you look like you put in the hours, which I had. But for her to walk in when we had it all set up, and for her to go, wow. And when I did her bouquet and handed it to her, and she just went, wow. Yeah, I was actually very proud.
I love it. Being part of someone's day like that, they're memories that live forever, obviously. In terms of the challenges that you faced in business, what's something that is really pressing for you at the moment?
Imposter syndrome. I'm a trained teacher. I'm not a trained florist. While I admire florists, their style is not my style. I sort of prefer more the garden style. Putting myself out there, because everyone keeps saying you've got to put your face on the business. Well, but everybody loves their face all the time. That's been challenging. And just mastering social media, because that's not something that I've ever done before. And I think as a teacher, you tend to try and keep your life private because so much of your life is in front of other people. And so as I step back from teaching, it's now getting out of that mindset and going, it's okay for me to be, And it's that thing that when you've been a mum, that your identity is very much tied up in being a mum. Who are you? I'm a mum. What do you do? I'm a teacher. So it's now that thing to say, well, actually, no, I'm somebody different to that now. And that's a bit scary, becoming a different person, but getting there slowly but surely.
I really love that. I think that imposter syndrome is real for anyone. You mentioned just before when you delivered some flowers, just that message that you have. When you said it, I heard tagline there. I'm like, that needs to be the tagline of your business. So just to wrap us up, can you tell me what was that tagline and how did it come about?
So I had an order through my socials and I said, look, I'll deliver it to you. And she goes, oh, I live down a dirt road and, it's muddy and stuff. And I said, no. And it was only about 6 k's from my house and it was a muddy, dirty road. But for me, the joy, which I don't necessarily get from the shop, is that when I handed these flowers to her and her face lit up, and I said to her that even rural women are entitled to have flowers delivered down a dirt road to their doorstep, the same as somebody else in town.
Yes, I absolutely love it. Well, thank you so much. And we'll put all your details in the show notes so people can follow you.
Thank you so much, Kimberley. It's been amazing. And thank you everybody here for being so supportive.
Now, before you take off with all that inspiration and knowledge, we'd love for you to leave a review on our podcast so that we can continue to amplify women's voices in the media. And if you have any questions, we'd like to celebrate a win, you can always connect with us on Facebook and Instagram at Oak Magazine AU. I'm so glad we've met and that now you know a friend of mine.